Hey guys, welcome back to my kitchen dining room area thing, something, I don't know. Kitchen, dining room, living room area all together, so it's the everything room. So today I'm going to be doing a meal prep video, but I'm going to be doing a little bit different because I don't have a ton of prep to do because of the meals that we chose this week. I am going to be doing my beans, and I'm going to be also showing you guys a dish that someone had requested me share. And the only reason I'm doing that on this video is, one, it's a super simple dish, and two, I don't have a lot of prep for this week. But I'm gonna go ahead and give you the menu plan, and there is one dish on here that I got from someone else that does YouTube. It was Fallon from Moss Family TV, because I watch every one of her videos, everyone, and if you're not, where are you? I mean, why not? I think everybody that watches me watches her because some of you found me because of her. And I'm very grateful for that. But anyway, tonight we're doing dumplings. It's her cozy chicken and dumplings. She got them off of a website, off of tasty.com. So anyway, she shares that on a video. If you would like to see it, I'll try my best to remember when I'm editing this to link that video in the description box. So I did get that, and I already took out both the recipes I need for this week as well. So that's tonight, dumplings. Noah asked for those. And then tomorrow night we're having the meatballs and potatoes. It's a thing that my mama cooked, and it's a very simple dish. It's just meatballs, potatoes, and onions and salt and pepper is all she ever put in it. But I have started putting carrots in it because we love the carrots in it, and Noah especially really likes them. And I do put a lot more carrots than, you know, some people may think is normal, but that's okay. I think myself that you could put probably any root vegetable in this and it would be delicious. So I'm doing that tomorrow night, and that will be the recipe or the meal that you see me cook right now. Okay guys, now I'm going to share the meatballs and taters. That's what we've always called them. That's what my mama always called them. Don't really know what else to call it. Other than meatballs and root vegetables, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, one thing about this meal is you can put any kind of root vegetable in it, pretty much. And the other thing about it is it's super simple. Now, I already have some meatballs that are frozen. And these were it's just hamburger meat, ground beef, whatever kind you want, ground chuck, ground beef, whatever you want. That's nothing else. There's no seasoning on these in this meat. There's no onion, there's no pepper, there's no nothing at all. It's just ground beef. And you can do it from, you know, not frozen, or you can do it frozen. And I just do it whichever way that if I decide to make it, like make my meatballs and then put it in, I do it. If I decide I want to do it from frozen, I do that. But that's the first step, and try not to let them touch. Second step is to have some bite-sized potatoes, and I have cut up several potatoes. I don't know how many, but I'm going to put these in, and once I put them in, I'm going to just make sure that I still have my meatballs separated. And a lot of times I will make sure that I stick potatoes between the meatballs on purpose. No, that wasn't all the potatoes. But, I mean, it's meatballs and taters. You gotta have meatballs and taters to have meatballs and taters. You right? Yeah, okay. This is something my mama cooked when I was little. I don't know if she still cooks it or not. I have a dog eating cat food. Delilah! No, ma'am. Sorry. Had to get my mama voice out. She knows better than eating the cat food. It's storming outside, so they're inside. They like to stay outside unless it's storming. Yes, more taters. I didn't have a big enough thing, or I didn't get a big enough thing to put them all in. Okay, last bit of potatoes. But so you put all that in there, and I'm gonna wash my hands real quick because I have meat and potato on me. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and put some pepper on it. One thing about this is you can make it with as little or as many meatballs, potatoes, whatever vegetables as you want. Like if you don't have a family that you're feeding, you don't make this much. Not unless you want a lot of leftovers. This is pink Himalayan salt. And we also have to remember that potatoes love salt. They need salt or they don't taste as good. The next thing I'm going to put in is some baby carrots. The reason why I'm using baby carrots is because I have baby carrots. They were on sale, they were cheaper than the others, so I grabbed some baby carrots. Now my mama never put carrots in it, but I decided to do it one time, and Noah loved it, so it's been a thing now. Ever since then, it's been something we do. And I put a lot of carrots in here. Because carrots are good and they're good for you. And my baby boy loves them. The last thing you put in is onion. I love onion. Onion and potato, that's my favorite parts of this whole dish. Now, it probably wouldn't taste as good if you didn't have the meat in it because the meat gives it flavor. But I can eat just the onion and potato and be happy, but I still eat the meatball too. So, I do have a little bit more onion that's just hanging out in the fridge. I'm going to throw it in there too. And I usually cut my onion up pretty big because of Selena. Which some of this is thin because I had cut it up for some other meal. But that's okay. Then I'm going to put more pepper on for this part. I really didn't put a lot of pepper, and we are a pepper-loving family. And these are the only seasonings you're putting on it. You're not putting oil in it. You're not putting vinegar. You're not putting any kind of sauce. You're not putting anything else in here. Salt and pepper, that's your seasoning. So, technically, this is a 4-ingredient meal because people don't usually count the salt and pepper. And I do have my oven. Yes, that's a lot of salt. Remember, potatoes need salt. It's really not that much. It's probably about a little over a tablespoon. But this is a huge pan. I mean, this is my stove. And you see how big it is? You see how, I mean, it's a big pan. It's not a small pan at all. So, I'm going to take and I'm going to put my lid on it. And I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 for probably an hour, hour and a half. About halfway through, I will open it up, stir it around some. And I'll bring you back whenever I start to do that part, and then I'll show you once it's done. Okay, I just took it out so I could stir it up. This is probably about halfway, a little more than halfway through. But all you do is just cook it until it's, you know, all the potatoes are done and the meat is done. Because by the time that the potatoes actually is pretty close to being done. I think a lot of the potatoes maybe, or some of the potatoes maybe anyway. But anyways, once the potatoes are cooked through, the meatballs are definitely going to be cooked through. And now it doesn't matter if they touch, because they have cooked and they won't stick together, and they're not going to fall apart now. So stirred it up, and then I'm going to put the top back on it and put it. Okay, for some reason my camera quit. So what I was saying was, I've stirred it up, and now I'm going to put the top back on it and put it back in the oven for probably another 15-20 minutes, because some of the potatoes are not quite done. But you just cook them till they're soft, but I'll show you once it's all done. Okay, so this is what it looks like after it's done. And ooh, foggy. And you can make this a much smaller size, because the salt and pepper is to taste, and all the rest of the things, you know, there's no certain measurements. So that's what we're having for dinner tonight. And I hope that you, if you try this, that you'll let me know. Let me know if you like it. It keeps fogging up. Jeff sometimes eats it with steak sauce. Selena eats it with ketchup. But I don't eat it with anything. Neither does Noah. So, you know, you can add stuff like that. Jeff has used hot sauce on it before. So that's stuff you can do. But I always say try it the way that it's meant to be eaten, which means try it without any sauce. And then if you want to add something, add something. Okay, and then on Tuesday night, we're doing chili. It's just, it's kind of like what my mama always cooked, but I added a lot more to it. So I took her recipe and made it to the way we wanted it, because we like big tomato chunks in it, or bigger, we like tomatoes in it, chunks of tomatoes. And also we add more beans, different types, like black beans. We have put chickpeas. We've done Great Northern beans. We just add more beans to the chili than what my mama did. She always just did the chili beans, which hers is good, but we just like ours to be a little more chunky, I guess, and a little more beany. I don't know, but anyway, chili. And I do believe I may have a video on here of that. If I do, I'll link it in the iCards, and I'll try to remember down below. I do the iCards better than I do the description box. I'm trying to get better. I've been doing my notes. Okay, and then on Wednesday, we're having barbecue baked potatoes or barbecue sandwiches, whichever one whoever wants. Jeff had smoked some Boston butts a while back, and we took them and broke them down into portions and froze it. It is a wonderful time saver, and it's a delicious meal. And now that he has we've got that smoker, which is a smoker grill, all kind of stuff. Since we got that, I don't want to go to any other place to have ribs or barbecue sandwiches or anything. I want them at home. I want him to cook them with his recipe, because they are the best. So that is what we're having on Wednesday night. And then Thursday we're having spaghetti, because it's one of the things that Selena really likes, and it's simple, and we just decided to do that. And then on Friday we're having Mississippi pork with macaroni and cheese, and possibly some kind of raw fruit or vegetable, or maybe nothing. But the Mississippi pork, it's a recipe that I originally had gotten it from Kimmy from Cheese in Her Apron, but there's so many people doing it now, or at least I think it was Kimmy. I don't know. I've been doing it for a long time, but it's just a simple recipe. Everybody seems to be doing it. All it is, well, the first time I ever saw it, it was chicken, and it was from thecountrycook.net. It was Mississippi chicken, but we like the pork better, so we use a pork loin. So anyway, boneless meat. You can do it with beef too. 1 packet of au jus gravy mix, which we use the brown gravy, and it's just as good. And 1 packet of ranch dressing mix, and I make my own ranch dressing mix, so we use that, and I do have a video for that as well. half a cup of butter, which is 1 stick of butter, and 6 pepperoncini peppers, which I always put in extra peppers and a little bit of the juice because Jeff loves the peppers. And a little trick that I have done since I started making it is I take the stems off the peppers because it makes it much easier for Jeff to eat them that way. He doesn't have to take the stem off while it's burning up hot. So that's what that is all about. And then on Saturday, we're going to have a fend for yourself kind of meal thingy deal going on. So you won't see a video portion of that because we're just going to eat whatever. Probably like leftovers, because we'll have leftovers of some of these things like the spaghetti and the Mississippi pork and the chili. I know we'll have leftovers of that. So that's why that we're having the fend for yourself leftover night, because I don't want to waste food. So that's our menu plan. And now I'm going to go ahead and get all the things. Since I'm cooking the chicken tonight, I'm just going to leave the chicken for it, the 2 chicken breasts. No, 3 pounds of chicken breast, which we use 2 chicken breasts is what we normally use. But anyways, 2 or 3. I'm going to leave it out in the kitchen sink because it's already 2:51 and it needs to thaw so I can cut it up into cubes. So that meat I'll leave out. And then the meat for, now the meatballs I'm leaving in the freezer. They're already made. And I'll talk about that more. You should have already seen that. But anyways, should have already talked about that. Because my future self will tell you. And then I'm going to take out the chicken for tonight. The ground beef for Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and take out the barbecue so it can be thawing for Wednesday, and the ground beef for spaghetti, and then the pork loin for the Mississippi pork. And then I'm going to take out all the other things and put in my other bin. So part of it's going in the refrigerator, part of it's going in the kitchen, just like always, and I will show you the bins whenever I come back. I'll probably show you the cold one and then the room temperature one separate. So I'll be back. Okay, so here's the chicken for tonight, and I'm gonna just cover that up and put it in the sink. Well, I'll try to do better in a minute. This is a pulled pork, not the pulled pork. That is not the pulled pork. That is the pulled pork. See, we got it labeled. That is the pork for the Mississippi pork, and then 2 packs of ground beef in there for the chili. And wait, we don't need spaghetti chili. I mean, we don't need spaghetti meat. We're doing meatballs in the, I'll show you in a minute. I'm glad that I thought about that before I did this. So, when you make a mistake, fix it quickly. So that is the meat. I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and that I'm just going to put in the sink so it can thaw out quicker. So, that's my bin for the other. I'll show you that in a minute. But I'm going to get this cold stuff out of my hand. Everything that I have on the table should be everything I need out of my pantry for this week. At least I hope it is. If it's not, it's a super duper great head start. Now some of this stuff I'm not going to be putting into my bin because it's for tonight. But everything else I'm going to put in there. But I'm going to kind of show you what's what. So I'm going to just start from where I started. I should have started with which meal was first, but it doesn't matter. This is for the chili. And I didn't get the garbanzo beans this time because Jeff asked me not to put those in this time because I don't know why. He doesn't really like the texture of those unless they are already made into hummus. So then we have an onion for tomorrow night's meal, and then some of these potatoes are for that meal. And then this is the stuff for the spaghetti, and this is the reason why we don't need the meatballs. We want to use these 2 jars with the mini meatballs in this. This is okay, but we don't love it. So we want to go ahead and use it up, get it out of the house. And then I have my penne and my lentils for my pasta because I don't eat these because I'm trying to get more fiber. Okay, and also one of these onions is for tonight, which is what this stuff is for. I will also need flour and some other things that are in the refrigerator and freezer, but that's all already in the kitchen, not in the pantry, so I don't need it out. This is for the Mississippi pork. I'm almost out here, so I got the other one, the new one. The ranch, I keep it in the refrigerator because that's the way you are supposed to store it. And these are that's the macaroni and cheese for the other. I think that that's everything. I'm going to look over it again before I actually put it in there. But I'm going to go ahead and put it in there, and then I'll show you what it looks like after I'm done. Okay, so I'm glad that's all I needed because nothing else would have fit in this bin. This is a week where I have a lot in my bin. Sometimes I don't have much at all. And if I would have needed to put this in there, it wouldn't have worked. But that's okay. I did not need to do that this time. I always keep a little Sharpie marker and an ink pen, which it happens to be a Sharpie too. But I keep that in here for just in case I need to make notes or anything, because if I need to change a recipe, I do that. And I keep a little Post-it note thing in there. And well, that's not the recipe for this time. I keep 2 recipes in each one of these little things. But anyway, there's my recipes in there. So everything is in here, and then I'm going to put it in the little spot where I keep it for the week. So that's my meal prep. I hope you enjoyed the little recipe I put in this, even though it's not much of a recipe. And I hope that you enjoyed whatever. I don't know. I think I said that already. Anyways, I'm crazy. It's hot. And I don't know what I'm saying. So, and Daisy's screaming at me. If you did like this video, go ahead and let me know by hitting the like button. If you like my channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell so you be notified whenever I upload. Leave me a comment down below. Have you tried any of my recipes? Are there any recipes that or any meals you've seen that you would like for me to share on the channel? If you don't like my recipes, that's fine. It's not gonna hurt my feelings because I don't like everybody else's stuff either. So that's why I change recipes sometimes. And sometimes I just change it because my family needs it changed because of different reasons. So that's all I have for today. Thank you guys again for watching, and remember, don't take any wooden nickels, and be sweet.